excited to read. Hey, hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome to yet another reading vlog. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about it. I've got some fun picks in this one. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, as always, because I haven't read these books before, but I'm excited about it. First off, we have A Dragon Wakes with Thunder. Now, this is the final what's it called, like a duology. It's kind of like a Mulan retelling. So, if you haven't watched my other vlog, pretty much, I'm unsure how I feel about this series. Like, the first book, I hated it, but I also liked it. Like, I'm at this, like, weird point where I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it. But at the same time, I have so many questions from the character as to what happened, how do you come back from here? And that's kind of where I'm left at in the second book. Again, it's like a Mulan retelling, of course. In this story, our Mulan, aka her name is Mei Ling, and she is a daughter of a nobleman, right? But he is her dad is super addicted to opium, and he's pretty much indebted the family into all of this debt, right? And so she's getting ready to be sent off and married into this super evil dude who beats his servants, and he's already gone through 4 wives, and he's super old and crusty and gross. Who wants to marry that, right? And so she kind of takes it upon herself, because we know there's war coming, it's imminent to the land and things like that, and so she knows war is coming, and she knows her dad is not going to go off to war, yada yada yada. She's like, if I'm going to do this, and my life is not that long in my hands anyway, I'm going to do it myself. So instead of, she kind of shirks the marriage and runs off, joins the military, right, and ensues from there. In the story, it's a bit of a fantastical element to it, right? There's some, I think they call it stamps, but I see them more as pendants, and they're imbued with different spiritual gods, so kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender kind of thing, with the spirit world and things like that. And she kind of has more connection with a water dragon, but then there's a phoenix that kind of comes into play, and that spirit and things like that. And it's interesting of a storyline, but of course, we go through the first book. It's not really a spoiler, but if you don't know, Mulan is obviously a woman. She gets found out in the military that she's a woman, okay? Things can happen. Of course, she saves her country. We get to the end of the first book, and stuff happens, right? Stuff happens, and it's just it's kind of piss poor writing, but at the same time, I want to know what happened to the characters. I'm more so interested in the side characters than I am really our main character. Obviously I'm kind of interested in our main character, but not really. I don't know what it is about it. I'm all about a selfish girl, right? Do you do what you want to get for your life, but at the same time, the way she's really portrayed, it's so selfish that I don't like it. It's really hard to explain. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job of it too. But I feel the way she talks, and she's I'm going to do everything for myself. I'm going to step on everybody else's toes. I don't give a crap about anybody. I don't like that. I like how it's just yes, I'm all about me, but not at the expense of everybody else, if that makes sense. She's just the way she's just I'd burn the world down just so I could be on top and have the power. You know what I mean? And I don't as much like that as I would, but get your shit, girl, go for you, but at the same time, don't hurt others in the process, right? Just to get on top. For what power? Who cares, right? But anyway, so that's kind of where we're at now, going to the second book. I don't know how I feel about it, but we're gonna see. Again, I hated the first book, but I also kind of liked it, so I'm hoping I like the second book. I just need to know. I need to know what happens. So that's it. That's for that one. That's a long explanation of what that one's about. I apologize. Next up is A Dance of Lies. Now, this one has not really been on my TBR for that long. It's kind of been, I feel like I've seen it a few times online, but I know this is about to be a finished duology, so I figured I'll go ahead and pick up the first one. I believe this one, the second one, comes out sometime soon, right? Within the next few months. I know sometime here in 2026, right? I'm just not exactly sure when. Maybe it is already up, but I'm pretty sure it's at least coming soon. So I figure I'll give the first one out a try and see if I like it. And so this one is about a main character. She is some type of dancer, and I think she's accused of a crime or something, but for some reason, she's imprisoned for a few years, right? And so she is then asked to be taken out of prison, and pretty much just hey, you can, not be a prisoner anymore if you go and spy for me at this court. And so she's okay, gotcha. And that's kind of where it ensues. And I think there's a bit of a love triangle, or maybe something else going on. I know it kind of mentions in the talks about in the back of the book and like in the explanation of what's going on. Like it's kind of like the different kings, and she ends up maybe getting found out, but then maybe she's working, instead of working for like the king of the west, she starts working with the king of the east to take over the king of the west kind of thing. That type of mambo jimbo is happening in here. Again, kind of spies. I don't know if there's really a magical or fantasy element to this one, but of course it's like fantasy, but not like magic involved. I'm not exactly sure if there's anything like that, but I know she's a dancer, she's in prison, she's trying to get out of the prison. And that's all I got. That's all I know about this one. Anyway, moving on. The one I am most excited to read. I finally picked it up the other day. I was trying to get it from the library and it was just taking too long on hold. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to buy it. I'm just going to buy it. And it is a Natural History of Dragons. What's it called? A Memoir by Lady Trent. Now this one, I think it's supposed to be really cute and fun. It's more of like a science-y, fantastical retelling kind of thing, and it's pretty much just, I think it's an old lady or something kind of retelling her story about like her history as like a natural historian of dragons, right? That is the only way to describe it, and kind of like her adventures. I think there's a little bit of a love story in this. I'm not sure how much, but all I know is it's supposed to be more designed of like not just dragons, about like anatomically, like how their muscles are made, like what happens with their bones, their wings, like what do they eat, their mating styles, like things like that. And I really like that. I think it's a different aspect in a different view for dragons, because I think it's really interesting. You really have to think about these things like, well, how would a dragon be, or how does a dragon eat? What are they processed between the different dragons, and like the anatomical differences and structures, and like the way it's all solid out. So like that kind of anatomy and stuff, like that's my jam. Anything anatomy, physiology, that type of stuff, biology, that's all in my jam. So I'm really interested to see how I feel about this, and I'm excited for it. Again, it's been on, this was been on my TBR for a little while, but I'm really excited. I feel like it's just a summer book to get into. And so that's why I'm excited to get into it, since it's finally summer. Anyway, that is my list of things. I'm sure I'll get up to a bunch of things in this vlog, but yeah, that's what I'm getting into. It's what I'm reading, and I hope you're excited to go on this journey with me, because it's always going to be a journey. But I will see you in just a few minutes with an update. Okay, I'm back with an update. I am about 26% of the way through the Dragon Wakes with Thunder, page 116 of 436. I've got it on my Kindle, but I'm just looking at my phone as to what percentage I'm at. I don't know how I feel about it. I am still kind of like, why am I reading this? But at the same time, like, I want to know what happens. Some intriguing things are happening, right? So we kind of just ended off the story like she was found out. I promise this isn't really like a spoiler or anything, but the end of the last book, pretty much getting into prison because she's a woman, right? And she was portraying herself as a warrior, and she lied, things like that. And she's kind of given an ultimatum at the end of that book and in the beginning of this book as to if she wants to get out of the prison and pretty much rejoin society, she has to be a woman and a woman only. She cannot wear like dressing she cannot wear dressing leathers. There we go. She cannot fight. She has to be like a prim and proper, like white painted, stuck in a Komodo dress, whatever they wear. You know what I mean? Like things like that, like the really proper form of a dress wear for a woman at that time. And of course she doesn't want to do that because it's giving up a complete portion of herself. But also she's also having all these issues with her jade because of course her jade pendant was taken away from her. Pendant or stamp? I can't remember what they described this in the book as a pendant or stamp. In my mind I view it as a pendant, but I think they call them stamps. Anyway, so she's struggling with the powers of that because of her chi and like things like that, the way it's been devolving. But we're kind of now chronicling her as she's just trying to figure out what to do with herself. And she's like thinking she's committed to somebody, and she's like, I'm going to help them get to the top because then I'm going to be the one on top. Because that's another thing. I don't like how selfish she is. Like, it's almost so narcissistic. And like, the bad side of it. Like, it's like, I'm all about, like, you go girl, do whatever you need to do for yourself. But when it's at the detriment of others, is it really worth it? And I think that's where she, like, very much goes over the line, right? Like, she doesn't care if she hurts anybody as long as she gets to the top. And I think that's what I hate about her as a character. But again, the side characters that are coming to play are also very interesting. So we're kind of just trying to figure what she's going to do. And again, like, I don't know if I'm liking it. I don't know if I'm hating it. I mean, I am kind of hating it, but at the same time, it's like, I still want to know what happens. Like, how do you navigate that, like, as a reader? Like, I don't know. I hate DNFing a book because, again, I'm still intrigued as to what's going to happen. But I feel like if I DNF it, I feel like a quitter. And I know I shouldn't feel that way, but I don't know. So that's kind of where we're at in the story. And I'm still unsure of how I feel about it. I think I might take a break from it for a few days. I think I might hop into one of the other books on my TBR for this video and kind of see how I'm feeling, and maybe I'll get back to it. But I'm intrigued, but, like, am I intrigued enough to finish it? Like, is this going to, like, do I really need to know the answers to the story before I go to my grave? Probably not, but I will probably end up finishing it. But I don't know. I don't know about this one. I'm still unsure about this, but I wanted to give you a little bit of an update how I'm feeling already so far. Granted, I'm not that far into the book either, but I'm still just like, and the writing style has not gotten any better either. It's still just kind of janky. It's the only way to describe it. Like, it flows, but I feel like it doesn't flow well. I don't know what it is about this. That's the only way to describe it. It's just kind of janky. And I don't like it. Something is not meshing with me, but I don't know. That's all I got to say about it. I think I'm going to hop into another book. I'm not sure which book I'm going to pick yet, but I will update you here again in a little bit, but I just wanted to give you kind of my initial thoughts as to what's kind of going on. But see you in a minute. All right, I am back with an update. Don't mind the crazy hair. It is still raining and my hair is doing whatever it wants to do. I have a reading update for you, and I also have some fun, not book mail, but like book related. But anyway, I wanted to talk about it. I love this one artist on Instagram is where I found her. It was called Book Babe Designs. I think she goes by Designs by Bree now. I will put all the information in my bio, down in the description. It's not sponsored or anything. These are just the t-shirts that I absolutely love and adore and that I wear literally all the time. But she does like very limited drops. So every time like she does a drop, like I immediately order some. But she made this last drop where she was able to like bring back old designs that like I wasn't able to snag like the times before. So I'm really excited. So I figured I could show you because I'm really excited for these. Again, not sponsored. I just really, really love her work, but I'll have everything linked and I'll put her up on the screen. But this one has got a little slow burn on it. Oh, it's so cute. They wash really well, and it's the Comfort Colors t-shirt, so that's like really, really good material. It's a little on the thicker side, but like not so thick that like you can't wear them in summer, if that makes sense. But I got a few of them that I've been really excited for, especially the ones that I have not been able to like grabbed from past drops because I was like, there were so many where I was like so jealous of like people getting them. This is like a dark villain romance one. Fresh cherries, pick your poison. And it says sweetness not guaranteed but delicious, villain lovers club. It's some of her designs are just so cool. She does them all herself. But yeah, I think it's designed by Brie now, but it was like Book Babe's design. This I think is honestly my all-time favorite one. Raising Hell, reading books. I think it's so cute. I really like these. They're super fun. I've had some for like 2 or 3 years now, and I've not had any issues with like wear and tear either. I think they're like really good, especially like the, you know how like the, what, I don't know what you call it, but like the font and stuff would come off. I haven't had any issues with that so far. This is also one of my favorites. It's got enemies to lovers, and I love the back on this one. So this is the front back one. I really like it. And then I think I've got one more. Yeah, one more in here. But yeah, I just want to show you because I think they were fun. I enjoy them, so you'll be seeing me wear them in lots of my videos here soon. But yeah, this is the Dark Romance Club one. I just love them. I think they're super fun, super cute, but I wanted to share. I need to share with somebody, and I know you wanted to hear about it, so that's why I shared it with you. But anyway, moving on to reading update. I ended up starting A Dance of Lies, and look at this cover. First of all, it really is such a gorgeous cover. And then I didn't realize literally until a few minutes ago, because I was sitting here, I made a hot tea while I was reading, and I was like, oh, that's so pretty. And I'm like, I didn't even realize in the center, I don't know if you can see because the glare, it's actually like the dancer in the center. I didn't realize that with the stained glass like that. I don't know why I didn't see that beforehand, but I was like, wow, that's so pretty. I feel like you can kind of see it. It's got that wrapping on it because it's from the library. Anyway, though, I have started Dance of Lies. I am now to part 2, King of Glass, and I'm on page 153. I'm not gonna say I'm like super enjoying it. It's a little bit of a slow build up, but I like it is like I'm still intrigued by it, but it's definitely a slower build, which I'm not like mad about, right? But this one, in this land where it's like based at, there are 3 kings because their father, who is the original king, died but left the whole kingdom and then split it between the 3 sons. And so our main character Vasily is currently under the middle son, I believe. He's like the king of, I believe he's in the west because it goes by like west, east, central, I think. Anyway, so she's part of the court there. So she's a really big dancer, and she's like the jewel of the castle. Nobody's allowed to touch her. He's like enamored with her. She gets all this special treatment. Well, she's blamed for a murder she did not commit, and so he like imprisons her for like the last 2 years. And that's kind of where we pick up on this book. She is like completely emaciated, and she's literally been locked up in the dungeon for 2 years. She gets brought out by the king, and she's given an offer like, hey, there's this big like, I don't remember what to call it, like reveilles or something. That's pretty much a big gathering of like all the kingdoms in the world, like, and they get together for like a month or so, and they like all talk about trade agreements and things of that sort. But there's lots of different entertainments and things like that. But it's a good way to like all the kingdoms to come together. But there's a specific portion where like you go and like troops and singers and things like that, obviously the entertainment people, and they go and audition. He wants her to go there. And so he propositions her like, hey, I want you to go there, and I want you to get in there, and I want you to be my spy, and then I will absolve you of all your, what do you call it, like what she was blamed for, like for the murder, even though she didn't commit it, and he knows she didn't commit it, right? Like he knows she didn't do it, right? Because she was with him when the shit occurred, okay? I'm just saying, we already have red flags flying for this man, okay? And so that's kind of where we're going now. She's now finally, she obviously accepted it, and she's kind of gone to this reveille, and it's interesting how it's kind of unfolding so far. I'm liking her as a character because, again, she had like 2 months of prep time before she had to go perform, and again, she's been locked up, and like she was chained so she couldn't move either. So she literally has like little to no muscle left. She's a bunch of scarring from all of like the irons on her wrists and things like that. And she's like, she was told by the doctor that she would never be normal again and like always have a thing. I will say in the beginning of the book, there is some trigger warnings. It's nothing super crazy or anything like that, but like the poor girl is she's got a lot going on. Like she's been stuck in prison in isolation for over 2 years. Her body's not the same. It's a really good representation, I believe. I know the author kind of stated in the beginning how she has a lot of autoimmune diseases, and like I very much feel that the same way, even though like our main character Vasily, it's from being imprisoned, and now she's having all these problems. But, like, I also have autoimmune disorder, a few of them, so it's like I understand where they're coming from, because, like, even though you're so tired, you still have to get up and do stuff, and it doesn't matter what you do, how healthy you are, what pills you take, like, any of it, like, you are going to be sick for the rest of your life. And some days it's just pure misery, but you kind of have to just push through. And I'm liking how Vasily's kind of pushing through that, because again, she hasn't danced for like 2 years, completely emaciated, and now she's trying to dance and gain favor, and she's now trying to, or well, she is being a spy for the king. So that's kind of where we're falling from there. It definitely is a slower build, but it's intriguing enough that you are like, I'm still wanting to read more, right? It's definitely a slow, but we're still getting like tidbits of information, because she is also, she's not originally from like where the kingdom of where she's like spying for. She's from one of the other kingdoms, and she was like one of the like, not like big ladies, but like she's the daughter of one of the generals, right? And so things like that, like, so she's branched down, but she ran away because of certain circumstances. It still hasn't really been said as to what's going on, but she's definitely like got a past and a mystery that she, like, is kind of unraveling, and she's not wanting to reveal to anybody. Of course, she doesn't trust anybody because everything that's happened in her life, right? But that's just kind of where we are now. I am enjoying it. It's not like the best thing in the world, but it's okay. It's intriguing enough for me to want to continue on. But I don't know. It's definitely a little slower than what I would prefer, but I have a feeling it's going to start picking up, because I mean, I'm only like maybe just over a quarter of the way through. But again, it's interesting. It's intriguing enough where I'm like, I'd like to see it. But again, not that it's so slow to a point, but it's so slow, but you're still getting a lot of good information, and I like that. The writing is super easy to get along with. There isn't really any magic going on in here. It's just like a plain, or no, it's not really a plain, but it's more of an interesting story. I feel like I've been reading a lot of fantasy books with a lot of magic lately, so it's kind of a refreshing and like a breath of fresh air that it's like just a story without any magical elements to it. Maybe there are elements later on, I don't know, I'll let you know, but I don't think there are any major like elements in this, like it becomes like super magical, right? So I'm kind of liking that. It's kind of a breath of fresh air, there we go, kind of reading this book, and so I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it. It's pretty good so far, but I will let you know how it goes from here. Oh, we have a guest. Hello, say hi, Kate. Hi. Say hi. Did you go come up for snowballs? Okay, she's probably gonna lay on those shirts right now. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's all right. I'm liking it. It's all right so far, but I'm gonna continue on. I'll update you here in a few minutes. But yeah, that's my update. I'm here for an update. I finished a book. I've started a book. Don't mind the mess in the background. I'm about to just get some journaling done, but I figured I'd update you first before I like get like enthralled in journaling. So let's talk about it. Oh, we also have a guest, Leo. He's coming to supervise, make sure I do everything right, you know? I'm sorry if you hear anything in the background. My husband is doing some dishes and stuff, and of course making a ruckus, but whatever. I did finish A Dance of Lies. I think I left you off at, it was a little slow in the beginning. I think I was at part 2 when I had updated you. So I finished it all the way through. Hello, Leo. I'll lay it out in just a minute. And it picked up a little bit through parts 2 and parts 3, and it was okay. It was a little bit of a slow build, and there was a bit of a fantasy element towards the end, and it was fine, right? So we're just kind of following Vasily, who is a dancer, and I don't think I mentioned this in that first update, so I apologize, but I really, really like, because she is a dancer, remember she was in prison, and now she's having to go to like this big dance thing where she has to perform, and she's also like being a spy on this like centennial type thing while they're all like, all the kings and queens are trading and things like that, doing like new trade agreements every few years. She's like one of the big spectacles and people like that. Anyway, the way that the dancing is written, it's like more of a, okay, don't quote me on any of this. I've only ever watched Dance Moms. Okay, that's all I gotta say. That's the only reason I know any knowledge of this. is it's more of like a lyrical contemporary style dancing, and I find it really interesting how our character goes about it, especially with all of her like physical abilities that have been taken away, because again, remember, she's been chained up in as a prisoner for several years, and like the way she's able to like express herself and like tell stories. She uses this really cool, it's like a fine sifting flour, but she uses it with like different dyes, and like the way it's all like creatively done, I think it's really, really beautiful. I'm easy to follow along in those scenes, and I feel like I'm part of the story, and I really liked that aspect of this book. Like the several dance scenes that they have in here, phenomenal. I really, really liked it. It was something different, I guess I've never read before, but yeah, more of like a lyrical contemporary dance type vibe. Don't quote me on that, but like that's all that I know from Dance Moms, okay? That's all I gotta say. But it's really interesting. I like how like the more fantastical she makes it up, so it kind of covers up her physical disabilities that she has, right? And I think that's really interesting. And there's also kind of a bit of a love triangle situation kind of sort of happening in this book, which was fine. It was okay. One dude is a total douchebag, I'm just saying. The other was like kind of a D-bag, but like he's a king, so like, you know, red flag, because is it a red flag? Maybe, but he's a king. No, anyway, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's kind of like a love triangle kind of going on, but we do follow Vaseline along as we get to part 2 and part 3. She's asked to do a lot more things than she's wanting to. Like she's asked to kind of kill somebody or poison people. She's asked to get lots more secrets, and again, like she doesn't want to get caught. And this is not a spoiler, I swear, but she does end up going to, because she is from the King of the West, right? Working for him, but the King of the East has kind of always had like his eye on her, right? And so he kind of brings her into the fold, like, tell me all your issues. I know you're working for my brother, like, give me the tea and maybe I can help you and save you, kind of thing. And so she and him kind of end up working together, and that's just kind of where this all kind of follows through. And again, it was interesting enough, but I don't know that I'm interested enough in these characters in the storyline to continue on into the second and last book that comes out, I think in August, July or August, sometime this year, later this year. Again, I don't know that I'm interested enough for it. I think it was like a good book. I'd give it like a solid 3 stars. It was interesting enough, definitely more of a slower build. I would still suggest this to a lot of people, especially if you're, I think, a beginner to fantasy, or you want more of like a lower stakes read. I think this is a really good pick if you're into that stuff. For me, I've been around the block I've read a lot of fantasy books, so not that it wasn't higher end, it's just not something that I don't know that I'd care enough to like continue on and read. But I still think this is a good book, and I suggest it to a lot of people to read. I just don't know that it's necessarily just my jam, if that makes sense. I did end up a pretty big cliffhanger. I'm not upset with the way the book went. It did, again, added that fantastical element that I was not expecting, which I think was cool. But again, it's just, I don't know that I'm connected enough to the characters to care to read the second book. But take that with a grain of salt. I still enjoyed that. Do not let that, like, I still enjoyed this book very much. It just was a lot slower of pace than I would have expected and would have enjoyed. But there's a lot of other elements that I think really made up for this book, so I like that. But I did end up starting, which I'm really excited for, A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent by Maureen Brennan. I am actually really happy that I ended up picking this up. I was like, do I want to read that still? Like, should I just pick something else? I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm so worried because I'm just like, I really want to love this, and I'm scared to read it because of what if I don't love it. I am on I'm on part 2, but I am on page, it doesn't have a page number. Oh, here we go, 95. Sorry, I was like, there's literally no page numbers on this one. Like, am I blind? But there is a page number on the next one. Okay, I'm not blind. Okay, I'm not blind, I swear. Okay, anyway, part 2 though. But this is actually, I'm really enjoying it so far. It's more of like a cute, lighthearted read, and I'm enjoying that very much so far. And it's kind of got like a funny aspect to it, and I'm enjoying that. So we're kind of following, so our main character is Lady Trent. So Lady Trent is like the natural historian, and she obviously studies dragons. She is now like in her late age, and I guess like a bunch of people have been asking, like other young scholars and things like that, like, we want to know your story, like how you found these dragons and like what inspired you, because it's kind of like in like the Victorian age, women are not allowed a whole lot of rights, like you have to get married really young, things like that. And so in the first part 1, it's just kind of chronicling how she got into dragons and her getting married at a young age, and like we've now ended at the part where she's on her first expedition to go and kind of see dragons and experience them. And it's really interesting so far. I like the lighthearted funniness. She's a very, very sciencey gal, but she has to hide all of that, right? Because it's in like the Victorian era. Prim and proper ladies do not speak of these things like that. And it's so funny, like how she picks her husband. Like, it's really cute, like how that kind of ended up, like she wanted him for his library pretty much, and like, hats off to you, girl. I love you. Like, it's so, because he's like a high and wealthy dude. This is, I promise, this isn't really like a spoiler or anything, but he's like a high and wealthy dude, and he's just like, most people are just wanting him for his wealth, but she wanted him for his all of his books in his library, because that's how like she's able to get out this time, because, you know, she's still so young, and of course women are not permitted to go pretty much anywhere, right? And especially anything that's dangerous or like gross, like, oh, women can't do that, they're poor, they're gonna faint, right? Like that's the vibe that's going on in this book. And so it's really cute how she navigates that, and how she kind of like swarms her way onto this expedition to go and see these dragons. So that's kind of where we're at now, and I like it. It's a lighthearted, it's fun, it's interesting to read. It's a book where it's just like, I didn't necessarily want to put it down, but I could put it down, and then like I could always go back to it, right? It's not like I'm like gripping to read the pages, and I like that. It's more of a breath of fresh air, I think, and it's something funny because she's just chronicling what happened, what her journey was as like she's looking back now from an older age, and I like that. I like that aspect. It seems fun, and I like it's more of like a sciencey-ish thing kind of going on, right? It's not just like dragons. It's about like she was really interested in like how dragons work, what is their like skeletal system, how do they feed, like what's their mating rituals, like things like that, like all of the things, right, that like especially women are like not allowed to know. She's really interested in that, and I think that's really interesting. I love like the little sciencey aspect. I love I am also a science gal. I like to know how things work. I love anatomy, things like that. I'm a chiropractor, so like anatomy and all that stuff is my jam, right? Like that's any type of biology type stuff, like my stuff. So I think that's why I'm really enjoying this book. So again, it's got a cute, lighthearted feel to it, and I'm enjoying myself. So I thought that was really fun. But again, not that far into it, maybe not even a quarter of the way through. But I just had stopped it last night because I wanted to make sure I went to bed at a decent time, and I did. But yeah, that's my update. I really enjoyed it. I've got all my journaling stuff out, so I'm gonna journal for a little bit here. Of course, I'm always behind on my journaling. You know how that goes. That's just me. I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and do my May wrap up. We'll see what I get into. I'm so far behind. Even like my daily bullet journaling, like my weekly spreads that I keep doing, and then my like monthly spreads that I do for all my book stuff. I am so far behind. It's really sad, but you know, that's just life. I enjoy journaling, but I like going at a slower pace. Like I do journaling whenever I want to do it. I don't like make myself do it every month, because then it's not fun for me, right? Like I'm not like that way. Like you have to do it this time. Like no. Let me just like, whenever I feel like it, I'm gonna do it, and then like I do it for like several hours, if that makes any sense. But anyway, sorry, that was a really long update for everything, but I wanted to update you. But I'm gonna get to journaling, and then I will get back with you with another update for Natural History of Dragons here soon. Okay, I'm here for an update. We've got Kate here. She is here to supervise. And if you hear my husband in the background, I apologize. He's playing some video games and doing whatever he likes to do. I am going to go ahead and just DNF A Dragon Wakes with Thunder. I just can't get into it. I tried reading another chapter, and it's been like several days. Okay, like it's been over 2 weeks of me trying to read this book, and I can't get into it. It's really making me so angry and frustrated. I still am not liking our main character, Malin, aka Mulan, and I can't get into it. And I think I just need to DNF it, because it's just not. Oh, hello, we have another guest. Leo is here to grace us with his presence. Hello. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and DNF it. I hate DNFing books. It's so hard to me, but I just cannot. I cannot do it. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. It's making me so upset, and it's just dumb. And I don't understand why. Like, why is the story so weird? Why, like, what is happening? but it's like not like, oh my gosh, what's happening? It's a, really? What is happening? You know what I mean? You get me. You understand what I'm trying to say. But on happier notes, I am quite a bit of the way through. I got a quarter of the way left in a Natural History of Dragons. I'm currently on part 4 here, and I'm really enjoying this. This is a really cute, fun book. It's like silly, it's kind of goofy, it's a bit more of like a, would I consider it like dry humor? Yeah, I guess I consider it more of like a dry humor, but it's fun, and I really like the sciencey aspect. So I kind of left you off. We're kind of like going over Lady Trent's life in the beginning stages of her life, and she was like just starting to get to her like marriage and early adult life. And so now that's kind of where we are now, and they just got to their expedition, right, for all the dragons and things like that. So that's kind of where we're at now, and we're just kind of following along. I really like all the aspects of like the anatomy of like the dragons, and like there's certain things that are going on, and then you've got the twist of like some of like the different religions and things like that are kind of taking into play, like going to old ruins and like, oh, things are cursed, you can't do things like that, and like some tomfoolery is afoot, and how they're like kind of trying to uncover that. And that's kind of where we're at now, like this last half, because they're trying to figure out why these dragons are like attacking these people. And of course they're sciencey people. I wouldn't consider them necessarily scientists, but that's what they're trying to do because they know like absolutely nothing about dragons. But it's really interesting. I really like the thought process of all of like the little things, like what makes up a dragon's wing, what's in the anatomy, why does the bone fall apart, like, or why is it the way it is, you know. It's really interesting how it all comes about, and I'm really, really loving our main character, Lady Trent. Like, I really like her personality. She is so blunt, I guess is the right word. Yeah, I guess blunt is the right word. I like her. She's straight to the point. You know, of course she does it in like in her Victorian-esque way, right? Like but she's still very blunt to the point. I'm really loving who she picked as a husband. I really like their development and like relationship together. I think it's really cool because it's like she married him pretty much for the library, right? But the way the aspects, it's kind of bloomed into not only just a friendship, but like a really love story. And like it kind of sort of mentions that, but like not really. Like that's very, very much a back burner. There's like very much. But I like how they're developing as a team, and I think that's really, really cool. I think that makes it really interesting in this book to see how they're going, because again, in that timeline, like women are not respected at all. They are meant to be at home, and the way he's kind of like not letting her get away with stuff, but like what he's allowing her to do, I think is really interesting, and like kind of just letting her bloom, because she's at this point only like 19 or 20 in the story, and so she's still young, she's still developing, like, but she knows what she wants to learn about dragons and things like that. And it's really like, I think that's really strengthening their bond in a relationship anyway. But I think it's really cool. Again, I'm enjoying it. It's fun, it's kind of goofy, but in a really interesting sciencey way too. But it's not like so over the science you're like reading like history papers or like full on like science dialogues, right? That's not it at all. It's very easy to understand, but it's very, very enjoyable, and I like that. I'm having fun reading it. I will definitely be finishing this tonight. But yeah, that's my update. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. Like, I will very much be reading the next few series. I am interested to see how it kind of goes on this last part 4, because it's not a series like a cliffhanger, because obviously the book is finished, but I'm interested kind of like how they navigate what's going on now. You know what I mean? So I think that'll be fun. I will definitely be finishing this. I think I'm gonna go make a hot tea, and then I will finish this up tonight, and then I will get back with you with some final wrap up. And Leo is still here. I got 2 kitties with me. Hello, it is the next day, and I officially finished A Natural History of Dragons, and it was cute. I feel like we derailed there a little bit towards the end, but like not in a bad way. I just feel like we really got away from a lot of the dragons and like the aspect, like granted there's other things going on that were like good, but it's just like I was reading it for the dragons, and it still included dragons to a certain degree. Like there was a mystery of like why these dragons were attacking like the local people and things like that, and like they figured it out, but I feel like we kind of diverged from the main part of the story to like fix this kind of mystery. And then it's just like, well, did you get like all the answers you really wanted from the dragons? I would personally say no, but take that with a grain of salt. I still really enjoyed this book. I'd give it a solid 3.5 stars. I honestly would have thought this would have, like I would have given this a higher rating. Like it was still good, but I don't know, something about the last half, while it was not bad, I feel like we kind of derailed from the main story. And then, again, not in a bad way though. Like it was done really well, but I guess it's not where I thought this was going to go. And there was a rather sad part, which I kind of knew to expect that going into this. I promise I won't spoil it. But I was still like, man, that really sucks, because I really enjoyed, I can't even say that because I don't want to spoil it, but there's one part of the story that I really enjoyed, and I'm kind of sad and upset that happened. But I know from other books in the series of that I heard, like I know like it was going to happen in like other circumstances. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to be like elude that, but again, it's not like super sad. I'm not gonna like bawl your eyes out or anything like that. But it's just real sad. So, but other than that, like it was adorable. It was a fun read. It was interesting. It was a pretty steady pace. It wasn't like slow or anything, but it wasn't like super fast paced either. I think it was like a really good steady pace, and it kept you interested the whole time. Again, slightly weird at the end, but like not in a bad way. It just kind of went a different direction than I would have expected it to take. But again, that's not a bad thing. I enjoyed it. I will definitely be continuing on in the series. I think there's like 4 or 5 books in this series, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think it was really fun. I would highly suggest for you to read it. But to finish everything else up that I have read in this semi-okay vlog, I feel like all the books I read were like, all right, meh. So I apologize for that for you, but also it's just like, this is real life, this is real honesty, and you're always going to get the honest takes of all these books that I read in my honest opinions. A Dragon Wakes with Thunder, I told you last time I decided to DNF it. I am still glad I decided to, because I like the thought of wanting to start that book back up, like makes you just want to stab my eyeballs. Like no, like it just like both of them, take them out. I don't know what it is about the story. I don't know if it's just the writing style. I don't know if it's the pace. I feel like it's a little bit of everything. I feel like something about this book and like the series, it's not for me, but why I keep trying to force myself to finish it, but I just don't need to, right? I just don't need to. It's not for me. I don't like the pacing. I don't love our main character, Maylin, aka Mulan. Like, it's funny, like I like the side characters and I don't like the main character. Like I don't, it's hard to continue on a story because I only like a side character, right? So we're just gonna DNF that. We're gonna move on. I don't know, just a Mulan retelling is just, I don't know, that one just is not doing it for me. And the last one I read is A Dance of Lies. Now, I still really enjoyed this one. I still think it was a good one. It was kind of meh. Definitely a slower build. Of course, remember, this is about a girl, Vasily, sorry. I was like, wait, there's something with a V in there, and there's this stuff going on. Vasily is our main character. Remember, she's imprisoned for something that she did not do, and now she is kind of forced to become a spy for the court, and now she's kind of caught between two kings. And again, slow, steady pace. I like the representation of like somebody with autoimmune disorders, even though she doesn't necessarily have autoimmune disorders, but she has like, obviously she was imprisoned for like a few years, and like then she was like forced to go and like dance and stuff, like she's never gonna dance again because she was in prison, and yada yada yada, right? And like I like the twists and turns. I think it was really interesting in certain degrees, but it's definitely a little bit of a more of a slower pace, even though it was a steady pace, but the second half really picked up on that. But again, it was enjoyable. I had fun with it. I don't know that I'm like more than willing to go into the second book into the series, because I think this is just a duology. Like it was good, but I don't know if it's good enough for me to hold my attention. I definitely recommend this to somebody if you're wanting a little bit slower pace of a book and you're still wanting like to read like a fantasy type book, but without so much fantastical elements. I would highly suggest this to you. I would highly suggest if you know anybody, or if you are looking into even just starting fantasy, I would definitely add this to your list. I think this is a really good read to add to that. But as a really seasoned fantasy reader, and I read a lot of high fantasy and things like that, like I just feel like this was just not quite enough for me. But again, it was still good. I still would rate it like a 3 stars. Like this was not a bad book by any means, but I really enjoyed it. But I hope you guys had a really good time watching my video. I had a really good time sitting here, yapping with you, hanging out with you, reading books with you. What are you currently reading? Please let me know down in the comments. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you on the next one. Happy reading!